In addition to having an influence on later generations, some performers became emblematic of a certain epoch. The Swedish band Abba is notable in this regard. Given that their music is still popular now, they might see even greater success in the future. A major contributor to the band's success and wealth is Benny Andersson. The Swedish musician and composer passed away at the age of 78, and word spread quickly. Our suspicions were validated by this. Some people are lucky enough to learn music at an early age, while others are born with a natural knack for it. In the case of this Swedish superstar, the second is most likely more correct. Guran Bor Benny Anderson was born in Stockholm, Sweden, on December 16, 1946, to Laya and Gusta Anderson. Anderson's father, a civil engineer, and his grandfather, Ephraim, were the two people who influenced his upbringing the most. His family and friends taught him to play the accordion, which was one of their first musical influences. Anderson received an accordion from his father and grandfather on his 6th birthday. This was the start of his musical journey. He was exposed to a wide range of musical genres as a child thanks to his parents, but mostly traditional Swedish music, folk music, and the well-known European genre known as Schlager, which features catchy instrumentals and vocals. Katarina Valente's dubstep music and Elvis Presley's jailhouse rock were among his early musical influences. He listened to a wide range of music and, at the age of 10, he learned to play the piano on his own. After music had such a significant influence on Anderson's life, it became his love. This insight led him to decide at the age of 15 to pursue music full-time. Before then, he participated in youth groups. At one of these early concerts, he met Christina Gronvall, who would go on to become his first girlfriend. They both joined the band, and Elvert Spillman's nickname is a pun on the names of their individual electric instruments. As the name implies, instrumentals constituted a significant part of their music. One of Anderson's earliest songs, Baby Elephant Walk, was written for the romantic comedy Hatari in 1962, but it was discarded. Regretfully, the Grammy winner for Best Instrumental Arrangement from 1963 was not included in the movie. Anderson's paintings flourished in the 1960s. After playing with Elvert Spelmanog, he was appointed as the pianist for Heap Stars in 1964. With Cadillac's debut the following year, their group saw enormous success in the music business. They consequently became well known as one of the 60s most well-known pop band from Sweden. Andersson is frequently seen as having had a major influence on the group due to his responsibilities as the group's leader, teenage idol, and pianist. Even though HEP stars first became well known for their song covers, they quickly started making original songs after hearing Andersson's innovative idea. Andersson's performances of the band's hit songs, Consolation, Sunny Girl, Wedding, and No Response, were played non-stop on radio stations. Although Andersson was already well known for his work with Heap Stars, he had no idea that his next band would make him a worldwide phenomenon. Although he was not aware of it at the time, his quick ascent to fame was made possible by a chance meeting with Jernvias. When they met in June 1966, he was still on tour with the Hepstars. After that, everything became extremely clear. Together with the Hepstars, they started writing songs. Is it not simple to say? Together, they launched their first single. Nonetheless, they were able to work together for many years because of their friendly friendship. The fact that Andersson collaborated with Swedish vocalist and lyricist Lasse Berghagen is another noteworthy instance that highlights his genius. This distinguished person helped him write various songs. Hey, one of their entries at the 1969 Melodi Festival. Clown was the winner. The song finished second in the Swedish Eurovision Song Festival finals that year. This partnership led Andersson to singer Annie Fred Lingstad. They flirted for a little while before falling in love. Agnetha Fältskog captured his heart, and it turned out that his friend Alv had already met her. It quickly became evident that Juve and Andersson were at work collectively. The dates so acquired a dual connotation. They quickly became friends through their love of music and began collaborating. Andersson and Alv's debut singles as songwriters were Spelman by Hep Stars and Lilla Selskapet by Britta Borg. With two amazing vocalists on board, they chose to write songs that would showcase the women's voices. One of the many sources from Middle of the Road and Sweet Blue Mink served as their inspiration. Anderson and Bergejon's collaboration came in second at the Melody Festival and Hey Clown. Anderson's work has the potential to be successful and well-liked. At this point, the group that Andersson had started with Ove Lingard and Feldskog had persisted. Waterloo, the song they won in the 1974 Eurovision Song Contest, was widely played and went on to become a chart hit. For the next 8 years, Andersson and Ove continued to work together on music after this song went viral. ABBA's 8 studio albums and string of #1 hits helped them achieve international fame. After Andersson contributed to a popular TV series that was made into a movie, interest in ABBA returned, despite the band's official breakup in December 1982. Most people agree that Benny Andersson's best work occurred during his with Abba. They are unaware that the amazing songwriter is among the best in the industry and has contributed to several highly regarded albums. Even as they produced music separately, Andersson and Ove remained in contact. This time, they were tasked with writing songs for stage and movie musicals. With the 1984 release of Chess, they made their theatrical musical debut. Murray Head, Elaine Paige, Andersson, and one of the co-aro managers was Barbara Dixon. Burns and Tommy Kerberg provided the vocals. With an astounding 2 million copies sold globally, it would be an understatement to say that the song was a hit. He collaborated with Karen and Anders Glenmark on the album Gemini, which was published the next year. The song Mio My Mio, from their second album, was featured in the 1987 fantasy film Mio in the Land of Far Away. Additionally, Andersson and Skiffs co-produced this record, having collaborated on the movie's soundtrack. With the release of his first solo album, Klingamina Klocker, or Chime My Bells, in 1987, Benny Andersson finally realized a lifetime desire after much anticipation. With the assistance of fiddler Åsa Spellman, Andersson composed, recorded, and played all of the instruments on the CD, including the accordion. The second album was titled November 1989. In addition to this side gig, Andersson made substantial contributions to movie soundtracks and other media. One of the many such attempts was the 1990 smash song Lassie, which featured his melody sung by the female cabaret group Handbusk. Soon after, dramatist Hester Matardas Fogel and Aldrich were let free. All of these songs were included among the 10 songs that Andersson and Ulf co-wrote for the 1993 English album Shapes. Traditional Swedish folk music appeared in several of his works from the 19th century. For example, the show Christina was modified from Wilhelm, a book by Moberg about immigrants. The musical ran for 5 years because it was so successful. It was even used to develop the English language program Christina. He also appeared in a funny video during the semi-finals of the 2004 Eurovision Song Contest. He plays a modest role in our most recent video, an intermission act in which all 4 members of Abba played separate roles. Despite the fact that Lingard's scene was on their own, this was the first time the 4 of them had worked together since their split. Despite this, viewers were so enthralled by this brief scene that it was included on a special DVD with the other Eurovision contest footage. Since they were adamant about never getting back together, many people saw their reunion after all these years as a dream come true. In 2000, did they indeed turn down a $1 billion offer? Despite the fact that the story was actually a rumor from the beginning. Someone told us about a sponsored tour that is now performing 100 shows. In an interview with The Guardian in 2021, Ove clarified. Everyone responded, but it was never written down. They all knew they wouldn't carry it out, though. First of all, the band members weren't excited about playing live in front of a boisterous crowd. The line separating fun from danger was quite thin, as Feldskog put it. Even though Benny Andersson put down his guitar following ABBA's breakup, he is still very much involved in music. Leading his own band, the Benny Andersson Orchestra, BAO, is one way he may accomplish this. There are 16 people in the band overall. They include chess player Tommy Kerberg and actress Helen Sjöö, with whom he previously worked on Duvala. Supporters of Swedish BAO is frequently included in music, and Bernalv has also contributed a few tracks. The band has released 5 successful commercial albums. Shom's 2009 smash song, Do or Mean, topped the Spence to Pump list for an astounding 243 weeks. Even after leaving Abba, Andersson and You've still write music for a variety of musicians, some of whom have had their songs published by the BAO label. Benny Anderson was a Mamma Mia member. Cast in the Nines, which later became a huge hit for him. The performance included 24 of ABA's greatest hits. The musical was a global sensation and a financial triumph, performing to sold-out audiences in nations all over the world. On July 18, 2008, a movie with the same name was also released. A year before the movie's premiere, Anderson was asked to write the soundtrack, joining other artists who worked on the original ABBA recordings. This required that the songs be recorded again. In addition to being the highest-grossing musical movie ever, Mamma Mia also topped the UK DVD sales list, and the show was a huge success. This song was written by the late DJ and songwriter Avicii and Alas Anderson for the 2013 Eurovision Song Contest. In September 2015, 2 years later, he released a new album that was mostly composed by him. This CD contains the choral melody of Kolkens, which means, the time of love. The song was made possible in large part by chormaster Gustav Schuckvist, whose tragic death happened just before the album's release. Given the importance of Benny Andersson's services to the music industry, it is scarcely unexpected that he has a thriving trophy haul. The Broadway Award for Best Score for a Touring Production went to the duet he and Alas played in Mama MMA. Additional honors include the Music Export Award, the Special International Ivor Nalla Award thrice, and Prize, as well as the Swedish Music Publishers Association's Lifetime Achievement Award. Along with his 4 Swedish Grammys, he was elected a member of the Royal Swedish Academy of Music and was awarded an honorary doctorate by the Faculty of Humanities and Arts at Stockholm University in 2007. He and his ex-wife Lingstad warmly accepted the admission of Abba into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010. He gave Swedish soul and traditional European music credit for influencing Abba's sound in his address for the award. On March 21, 2024, Benny Andersson and the members of Abba received the Royal Order of Vasa from King Carl XVI Gustav of Sweden. For about 50 years, Swedes have not been granted the Swedish Royal Order of Knighthood. Benny Andersson is thought to be worth $230 million. He is famous for having 2 marriages. He had been engaged to Christina Grunwald before that, but the two had already split up. Grunwald gave birth to Peter and Hella, his offspring. Andersson was the only parent to the children, despite being a star among the HEP stars. Following that, he spent 11 years dating Annie Fred Lingstad, a member of Abba, from 1969 until their split in 1980. They completed their divorce the next year. His second wife is Swedish television presenter Mona Nerklet. She is his spouse. She and he were married in 1981. He formally dissolved his relationship with Lingstad in the same year. They are still wed to Nerklet, and their kid is named Ludvig. He joined the ABA Voyage production team when he grew older. Experience the enchantment of ABA Voyage, a virtual concert where avatars, lifelike virtual versions of the actual members, perform the band's hit songs. They are outfitted and schooled to imitate ABBA's performances with the assistance of a live band. The 90-minute ABBA Voyage event is held in the specially constructed ABBA Arena in London. Benny Andersson has a well-known career, but not much is known about his personal life. We are certain that he has battled alcohol throughout his adult life and has not consumed alcohol since 2001. Prior to talking about his drug problems in a 2011 interview with the Daily Telegraph, he kept quiet about them. Benny is 78 years old. ABBA's Andersson affirms what everyone already knew. He still had it. That is, the essence of the music. The Winner Takes It All was performed by Andersson and his ex-wife, fellow ABBA vocalist Annie Fred Lingstad, for the first time in decades just a few weeks ago. The two met on May 27 at the VIP venue's afterparty honoring ABA Voyage's 3rd anniversary. I was surprised. Apart from that, they For good measure, I added a little Super Trooper and Money Money Money. In addition to their best hits, Andersson and Ulf wrote 10 new songs for ABBA Voyage. These songs are independent of popular music trends following the band's dissolution. Their 2021 risk into the unknown was well received by both their loyal fan base and the general public, as seen by songs like Don't Shut Me Down and I Still Have Faith in You. Andersson and Ulf talked about how they felt about the avatars and how. In the same 2021 interview with The Guardian, they said that their younger selves served as inspiration. Looking at previous pictures of themselves can make some persons their age feel unhappy because they believe they have aged too much. Never in their wildest thoughts did that group of people allow something to affect them. The thought of releasing an album without a single track is the only thing that might conceivably frighten them. Andersson specifically stated in the same interview how they were free from all kinds of pressure while residing in Sweden. Her statement to The Guardian was, "I think living in Sweden helped. Being Swedish was helpful." She said, "Don't make a fuss here. No one ever enraged us though because people knew who we were, and they still do. Everyone does. Nothing out of the ordinary. Wonderful. We've had success here." If you're a fan of Benny Andersson and Abba, you're in luck because Jen Gravel's new book about the legendary Swedish band Abba will be out soon. The story of Abba Melancholy Undercover. The author has worked hard over the years to interview all 4 members, which makes it even more fascinating, and it will include some unexpected and untold stories. Abba's history. The book also gives background information on each member's life outside of the band. Benny Andersson will be featured in the feature documentary Sue, which is about Swedish music star Sue Martinsson. In addition, Andersson will be starring alongside some incredibly talented actors.